Monday, October 14th, and I just want to talk a little bit. This is the first day that I'm on the cleanse, the Road to Rooted Cleanse. Bix, Amy, thank you so much. Kat, you know, I thought about doing it. I've done cleanses before. I've done the Master Cleanse. What was it, Stanley Burroughs? Not even, I think that's what it is. The lemonade diet, they call it, some people, you know, it's all liquid. What is it, cayenne pepper, lemonades, and grade B maple syrup mixed in, and that's all you drink. It's supposed to burn, you know, to get the metabolism going and clean you. Anyway, I did that for 21 days. Might have been longer. I know it was at least 21, but no food. And you know, it was I'll be honest. I try to be honest all the time. So why do people say that? See, all these cliches we need to kind of let go of and start speaking truthfully, from the heart, genuinely, instead of all of the preconceived things that have been implanted within us. Don't get me started on planting and seeds and knowledge, but maybe for a later time. But I've done that cleanse, and I did it a couple of times. It's spiritual. And I don't even want to say it's spiritual. It brings us back to what we're supposed to be, our true nature. We've gotten so far away from it, and I use this example a lot, but it fits. You know, it's the whole onion thing, and I know it's an overused cliche. Speaking of cliches, but you peel back those layers of the onion to get to the core, and that core, that's what makes you cry. You know, because it hits right there. It's that soul, and it's like a human being too. When you cut down to that core level, you see just that pure power, that pure energy. But over the years, you know, we come born from God. I mean, we come right on the wings of heaven, right to the earth, and that's why, you know, we're so innocent when we come into the world. We assume everything. I think we assume everything is in a natural order. It's in a state of grace, let's call it. That's not the right word, but I think you get where I'm coming from, in that, you know, our spirit comes here and it gets into this body, and then it says, oh wow, there's all this pain, there's all these things, these challenges and all of this. But I think what happens is, when you do one of these cleanses, is that you peel back all those layers that have been built up around you, and they peel off with every day that goes by. And it's a purification thing, because then you get back to the core of who you are, and that is, you're connected to the universe. You can call it God, you can call it the oversoul, you can call it whatever you want, but that connection is here. It's just that we've been encased in all these different layers, and we don't hear it anymore. Periodically we do. We'll get a sign and we say, well, how'd that happen? Wow, that's strange. But as we purify ourselves, as we peel away all those layers, and we're just pure, resonant soul, spirit, we connect back. I mean, why do you think animals sense earthquakes before they happen? I mean, we can do that. I mean, there are intuitives all over on this planet, and they sense things, they see things, they feel things. I think we all do, though. At some level, we've all experienced that. And as we get rid of all of the toxins, all of the things that have been built up to, you know, you think about it, it's like the princess and the pea, you know, the little pea at the bottom of the mattresses that keep getting stacked up. At some point, we're that pea, and can't hear us anymore, and we can't hear anything else, and we need to take that away. I mean, this is just day one, and I'll get real spiritual and real in tune, let's just say, with that spiritual frequency that runs through existence, creation. I will get more in tune with that as I go on, but just in day one, not filling myself with the dead foods, the products that aren't made for us. I mean, if it comes from the earth, it has worth, you know, and that's it. If we just go back to the source of the food, you know, and get that. You know, I picked some pears today. I stood out here and I ate a pear. I mean, apples off the tree, you know, I picked some a few weeks ago and I'm still eating on them. And I mean, it's just so nourishing, and it's so enlightening to eat that kind of food, and your body resonates with that. it's a good thing that we all should do. We should all live in this state anyway. We should be in this existence anyway at this level all the time. If we were, and we're deliberately placed in a situation, you know, I look around here and see, I'm just going to ramble today, but you look around here and you see all that corn back there. It's all genetically modified garbage. I mean, it's useless. It's just, but it's subsidized, and the market has been created for it. And so that corn, it goes into, look at your labels. It goes into high fructose corn syrup, which is in everything. It's a sweetener, you know, so you don't have to get cane sugar imported or grow it. It's just so much easier to turn it into, you know, in ethanol, you know, you use corn. I mean, there's so many subsidies, malinvestment, that's causing this corn to be grown. And that's all there is around here is corn. Corn. There's beans over there, but mostly corn, because there's been an industry that's developed that uses it. Now, why don't we have different kind of crops? Why aren't we growing hemp? Why aren't we growing all kinds of different products, you know, boutique farms? Well, because it's not profitable. Because the market has been put in place, the system has been put in place to produce the corn, we'll make stuff out of it. Okay, and so that's what happens, but it doesn't nourish the body. And so, you know, going back to, I'll turn it this way again, going back to the, so I get the sun in my eyes and you can see the glare, going back to, you know, eating that which is from the earth, the good things that are from the earth. Unfortunately, there are people who, and I think willfully in a lot of cases, and not so much in others, but willfully have been giving us things that aren't good for us. And why is that? You ask yourself, why is that? And I think it's because they're afraid of us being who we really are. I think it's because we don't recognize, because we're just buried in these skins, these onion skins that surround us underneath all those mattresses, that we're just deadened our senses. We don't realize we are really divine. We're connected to the source. I mean, we know it, we talk about it in all religions and how we have a spiritual, you know, realm. We are a spiritual being, but then we don't practice it. We don't act it out on life. It's like it's just some fairy tale, you know, some myth from history. Well, there's a lot of truth in those. And we need to start living as a child, having eyes of children and looking at the wonder of the world and the wonder of what we can produce, what we can do, the magic that we can create. I mean, to me, and I look at this seed movement, just that alone right there gives you an example. The seed cards for crypto, everybody planting these seed cards all over the place. It's spreading knowledge. It's engaging people. People are, I don't have one with me, I can't show you. I took out my wallet. But what it does, it gets people engaged. And one person's action influences another person who goes out and influences others. And next thing you know, somebody's building websites based on this concept and bringing the world together. I mean, all it takes is one idea, and then it spreads. One seed, and then it spreads. And then that tree grows, and then it drops acorns, it drops other seeds in helicopters for maples, and they just go, and it spreads. And that's how we change things. And there are so many people, I shouldn't say so many, but there are certain people who do not want us to do that. They want us to live within a system of control and power because they're afraid of us. They're afraid that we'll discover who we really are. They're afraid that we'll realize, wait a minute, all this stuff that we've been reading about in our religious texts are real. Miracles can happen. We can produce them. We can change the world with a thought. And that threatens people who have power, who have built up power in an ancient system. It threatens them. And I don't want to live in that kind of world. I never have. We need to start understanding that we don't have to put up with these things, that we don't have to play by those rules. I mean, it is artificial anyway. It's an artificial construct that is on top of us. We don't need to give that power. We don't need to give that energy. There's no reason to do it because we're miserable doing it. we're unhappy. And what do? We try to work and save, and then they deplete our any retirement money that we've set aside through inflation. They just eat it up, and it's just a game. And then at some point they won't pay it. And we're at that point. They're not going to pay it. And if they do, it'll be at such a highly inflated rates that it won't mean anything. It will have no value, no purchasing power. It is, you got to think of it this way. Money is the key to all of this. And until we pull the plug on that, until we pull the plug on the lifeblood, those vampires will continue to feed off of us. We've got to make sure that we use a genuine representation of our energy, our labor. I call it energy because that's really what it is. We put forth energy and we gain something because of it. It might be a dollar bill, it might be whatever form of currency that's out there. But we need to get something sound and valuable in return for what we've done, the energy that we produced. What do? No, they just throw garbage money at us and say, that's good enough for what you're worth. You're not worth anything. That's what they're telling us. You're not worth a damn thing. All the efforts that you've done, the value that you brought into this world, we're going to pay you with something that has no value because we don't value who you are and what you're worth and what your time is worth. And that's got to stop. It's got to stop right now. And we can make that stop. We stop using that money. We stop giving value to that money. You pay me in Litecoin all day long for anything. All day long. You pay me in whatever cryptocurrency that you give power to. And if I see that it's valuable, I'll take it. You pay me in Vertcoin. You can pay me in Digibyte. You can pay me in Bitcoin. You can pay me in Litecoin, Redcoin. Go down the list. Potcoin. Go down the list. I'll take that as payment over fiat, fake, printed up money, malinvestment tools. It's because that's what it is. It's just a malinvestment tool to blow up bubbles, to create wars, to do all the things that we weren't born to believe in or feel. We came onto this earth as spiritual beings. And none of this was inbred, into us. We learn most of these things, how to treat others badly, and we're conditioned to do things to other people that we shouldn't be doing. And please, I hope the wars end. They need to end. But we've got to start realizing that we are in control of our own lives. We are sovereign individuals. No one tells us what to do. We're here to live our life on this world. This body that we control is nothing more than that. We're just, you think about it, you see the movies where somebody jumps into a big robot and you're controlling that robot and, you're doing things with it, and then parts wear out. And if you don't have the parts to fix it, well, the thing starts breaking. And then you can't really do the things you used to do. That's what we are. And so we need to take care of ourselves. I haven't done a good job of it for a long time. Periodically I do. But we need to take care of these bodies, these robots that our spirits are controlling, so that we can make the most of what we're doing here. Because really, at the end of it all, it's a spiritual war. And our spirits need the tools to be able to go out and change things. So that, when we leave, we don't have to go up there and say, well, we screwed that up, had an opportunity and didn't do it. Well, you've got the tools. Got the tools. We need to do it. And right now, at this time, we have the ability, we have the money, the true form of energy representation. We have cryptocurrency. We can use that as a tool to defeat all of that old. We can control that money more so than we've ever been able to. Now, there's nothing, somebody can bring me something out of a garden and I can do some work for them or vice versa. And to me, hey, you know what? That's great. That's ideally how things could work. But, we have 7 billion people on the planet. We need to be able to transact with them. Somebody in Asia might have something I need, and I might have something that they need. How are we going to securely pay for that? Well, crypto is that answer. The technology is in place for that now. It didn't used to be. And so it's time for the castle to crumble. It's time for those institutions that that exist only to enslave to just crumble. We don't need to have a big war and fight and hang people. I mean, that's not how this works. No, we just take the energy away from it. Again, I'm going to use the vampire analogy because that's exactly what it is. They hide in their castles in the darkness, and they try to convince us that if we don't do for them what they want us to do, then, oh, they can come stop us. They can take our children. They can defeat us because they're more powerful, because they've got the castle and they've got the wealth. You know what? They're nothing. It's nothing but a cardboard cutout. That's all it is. And as soon as you just say, forget it, I'm done, I'm unplugging from it, you're not getting my energy, you're not getting my work, you're not getting my lifeblood. When you start saying that, you start realizing these people are nothing but frauds. They have nothing. They fear us. See, that's the thing. Deep down, they fear us, and they know what can happen. They know those torches can come out, and that light will destroy everything. That light will purify. So we just cannot live in quiet desperation any longer. We just can't do that. We need to take responsibility for ourselves, find like-minded people, and there's so many of them. I mean, all this comes down to is love. It really is. You look at what is Christ, it's love. That consciousness, it's love. You look at any major religion, anything that anybody follows, anything of worth, it all comes down to that simple golden rule. Do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. It's all about love. Why do you think I gotta hug people so much? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about reconnecting our spirits and realizing that, wow, we can change this. This is nothing. This is just nothing. We can do this overnight. But we have to wake up to that fact. We have to awaken to that. And to take it full circle, that's all I was talking about was a cleanse. But it means so much, and it's part of everything. We need to get back in tune. We need to get back in tune with that creative frequency that's out there, that we are all a part of. That magician's frequency. That frequency that allows us to manifest anything that we think about and we come together and that we put our minds and spirits to. We need to get back to that. And one way to do that is to go through a cleanse like I'm doing right now, like some of us are doing. We have to just strip away all the garbage and get back to who we really are and be in tune with that first. And then we can look out there, and then others will come together. We'll find each other. We will find each other because I trust the plan. There's a greater purpose. There's a greater plan at work. And we just need to awaken to that and understand that. And we will find each other. We have been finding each other. That will continue to happen, and it needs to continue to happen. More and more people are waking up. You know, at the end of all of this, you don't want to look back and say, you know what, I should have tried harder. I could have done more. I shouldn't have hid. I should have stepped forward when I had something to offer and I didn't. You don't want your body to wear out and be at a point where, yeah, I could have done that when I was younger, but I can't now. And if you get to that point, there's always something valuable you can offer. Any small thing that you contribute to good, to love, changes everything. Any small thing. You have no idea what that will do for someone else's life, what impact that will make. Realize how powerful you really are. Understand that. Find that strength again. Have to find it. Have to find it now. It's the time to do it. We have to awaken. We have to unlock our spirits. And we need to change this because we can, and we can do it overnight. No doubt about that. So anyway, I love that wind blowing in the corn. You know, it's so nice. I mean, these are the things that I enjoy. I can just listen to it. Listen to that corn rustling, the dried leaves, and just how beautiful that is. I mean, that's the spirit talking to you right there. So, I don't have anything else to say, but I love each and every one of you, and we need to love each other. And we cannot let people steal that love, that energy. We cannot let them pervert it. We cannot let them turn it on its head and use it for their own gains. Don't give power to vampires. Withdraw it. Bring them into the light. That's the key to all of this. So I hope you all have a great day, great life. I love you all.